Hello! This short tutorial is to explain you how to use my UValue calculator. You have a link below this video. If you want to download it, it's an Excel spreadsheet. So this UValue calculator is very approximate. It's for indicative purposes only. If you want to do a proper calculation for professional purposes, you need to use BS standards as given below at the bottom here. Now, the first thing you want to have a look at is the type of element that you have. So for example, here you can choose from roof. Let's say we're choosing wall. How exposed it is to the external elements like the wind, for example. So if we're in a very windy location, you choose that. So let's say it's just normal. And here you can choose the different materials that you might have. So for example, we could have first some plaster. Also just let's choose some standard plaster. And then you put the thickness of this particular material. So at the top here, you have the internal materials, and the external materials come towards the bottom here. So maybe we'd have then some aerated concrete blocks with a thickness of say 100 millimeters, and maybe we're going to have some air, maybe 50 mil of air, and then perhaps we'd have some insulation. So let's choose some glass wool insulation. Say I want to put 75 millimeters here, and then maybe some bricks, just normal bricks. So here we're having the total thickness of the building element is calculated here, is thermal resistance, and from this we calculate the U values. And you can see here the U value is 0.2. And also this makes a comparison to the LITI recommended U values. So here you can choose what kind of building it is. The LITI doesn't give you many building types, so choose something which is close to whatever your building is. So here it goes red because this value is above the value below here. We want U values to be as low as possible. So say I want to apply the LITI recommended U values, I might need to add a little bit more insulation. And here we go, this works. Now you can see here there's also bespoke materials. So let's say I want to use my own material, which is denim insulation, for example, made out of recycled denim. And the conductivity of that is 0.042. Then I can choose this material from the list. So it comes up at the end here as denim insulation, and it's changed the conductivity here. And I can see my U value is changed slightly, but it's still compliant to the LITI recommended U values for housing. So that's it. It's that simple. One thing you need to remember is when you calculate U values, the performance of the building is not just about the U values of independent building elements. You have to consider the building as a whole. So even if you have an excellent insulation in your walls and the walls perform really, really well, if you have loads of just normal double glazing in your walls, then overall your wall will not be doing so well because it's mainly glazing, and glazing tends to have poorer U values. So you need to consider the building as a whole. And certainly the LITI gives you guidance about this. So have a look at the guidance. It gives you things like percentage of window that you can have in a wall. All right, I hope this was helpful and that you enjoyed this little tutorial.